Greetings everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. I am Julian Greystoke, and I'm here with my special guest, Julian Greystoke. It's so good to have you here.
So glad to be here, Julian.
Today we are going to be interviewing Julian about her latest big hit, her fanfiction, After the Fall. So Julian, the world wants to know, what prompted you to write this fic?
Well, we all know about that ending of Mass Effect 3. It's a difficult one to deal with. Some people really like it, some people really dislike it. I'm kind of in the dislike it camp. But we're not here to talk about the ending of Mass Effect necessarily so much as my extension of it. I got the idea to write this fanfiction after I had played through Mass Effect, all three games, again, with my favorite Shepard, Lorelei, who is the star of the fanfiction. And when I reached the end, I felt like, as many people did, that it was unsatisfying, and I felt like, what if I could fix it so that the ending that BioWare gave us was not the ending, but in fact just like the middle of the story, and the fight went on after that until we could have a satisfying resolution. And I, thought about it, and I kind of workshopped it with my husband, who is also a fan, though not as much as me, haha.
Fascinating, wouldn't you say, world? So, Julian, what were some of your goals and plans when writing this popular fanfiction?
My plans and goals, as you might guess, were to give us a better ending to the Mass Effect story, obviously. I wanted to give more closure to all of the characters, and I wanted to wrap up a little bit of the mystery of what was going on with the, godchild or whatever. I also wanted to keep it canon if possible, or canon-seeming if possible, which is why I always kept it in Shepard's point of view, because in the game you are almost always in Shepard's point of view and you don't get to see much of what else is going on in the rest of the galaxy. Sometimes you do a little bit, but I kept my story very much in Shepard's point of view. I'm going on record as saying that I really liked the indoctrination theory that fans came up with, but when the DLC came out, sort of revealing that it was probably not actually a thing, although I was saddened, I accepted this, and then in my story I decided to treat everything as though it was, as though it had actually happened, and to try to help explain it a little bit. Some stuff still confuses me, but there you go, I wanted to have that. And I also threw in, of course, as many of you know, the tidbit about Shepard being immune to the indoctrination, which kind of then explained for me how the indoctrination theory, couldn't have happened, because in my version, Shepard can't be indoctrinated, so there you go.
Now, Julian, let's talk about that ending, and I don't mean the ending of the game, which, as we all know, is a very polarizing subject. I'm talking about the ending of your fic. You didn't kill off a single character, even though in the Mass Effect game, favorite characters were being killed off left and right. What do you have to say about that ending?
So my ending, I hope it was at least a little bit more satisfying. I was going to end it on the Citadel, when they defeat the child with, Malik is doing the control orb thing and they defeat him that way. But then a fan of my fan work mentioned that wouldn't it be cool if the VI got onto the Normandy, and I thought, what better battleground for Shepard than on her own ship? What would really motivate her to kill this thing with extreme prejudice and gunfire would be it invading her ship. So it got brought up to there, and I hope that is a truer ending, so it's not like, James T. Kirk dies on a bridge. It's more like Shepard fights the final battle on her ship with her people around her, that kind of thing. And of course I wanted to get across that Shepard needs her people. When in the game she was alone, I wanted her to be accompanied by her team, which of course brings up the point that you made, that I didn't kill anyone. I'm not gonna lie, I was planning to kill some people. I was planning to kill Javik, and Kaidan was probably also gonna bite the big one. I know I am so mean to Kaidan in this fic. I beat the shit out of him, poor guy. So, Javik and Kaidan were definitely gonna die, possibly others. But then I got to that point in my writing, and I remembered Shepard's "not one more" sort of speech from the game.
What matters is this. Not one more. That's what we can do here today. It ends with us. They want to know what we're made of? I say we show them on our terms.
And I thought that that was a better message than the message of loss, because the message of loss has been through, you know, especially Mass Effect 3, but it's been through all of the games, and in the Mass Effect 3 there's a big message of loss, and I thought if I am writing like the true ending of the game, Not One More was a stronger, in my opinion, ending than Everybody Dies. So, I mean, it was pretty tempting, and I even considered killing off Shepard at one point, but again, it felt, you know, for the hero of the galaxy, to me, it felt like her continuing on was a stronger choice. There may be people who disagree with me, and that's completely fine too, and in a lot of versions of the ending of the game, Shepard is effectively dead. So, you know, some people liked that.
I see, but I will point out that you did kill off, rather unceremoniously, both Jack and Samara at the beginning of your fic. Why was that?
I did kill off Jack and Samara right away, and that was mean of me, but they are the two most powerful biotics, except maybe Caden, around, and having too many powerful biotics in my story would make the threat seem less scary. Like, Shepard could just walk into any situation with, like, Liara, Caden, Samara, and Jack, and just own the shit out of everyone. So I had to kind of get rid of our two most powerful biotics right away. And I'm sorry if anybody loved those characters. It wasn't that I didn't love those characters. I love all the characters, and I hope that comes across. I didn't want to have one of those fics where it seems like, you know, the author doesn't like a certain character. That character gets crappy lines, or that character seems like an idiot. Even though I'm not like a big fan of Vega, I tried to make him a person. And so I wanted to have all of the characters in my story, but I couldn't. I love Samara and Jack, but I couldn't keep them in.
Do you feel that this fanfiction is completely complete, as it were, or is there more that you plan to go back and add or change?
There is some stuff that I would change and add about the story. I will probably eventually go through and edit it, at least the paper version, and there's at least one more scene that I want to add to give Cadell a little bit more backstory. And if I add that scene, I will probably record it for you and put it up, and you know, you can see, I'll tell you where it would have fit into the story. But as for the other edits, unless I add more scenes, I'll probably just keep them to the paper version. I won't remake the recorded version unless there's like a huge, tremendous outcry for me to do that, but I kind of doubt that'll be the case. I think the one that's out there is fine. I'm hoping that everyone's enjoying it.
Fascinating stuff. Alright everyone, we're on to the fan questions. Questions from you, the fans of the fanfiction. Early on, you were asked by someone whose comment unfortunately disappeared from YouTube, so maybe they don't want you to anymore, why you aren't writing for BioWare.
I got a couple of these, and they are really great for my ego, so whoever said this to me, thank you for stroking my already enormous ego. Obviously I don't write for BioWare because they haven't hired me and don't know that I exist, but, you know, that's okay. But thank you. Thank you for thinking I'm good enough.
Indeed. Now on to question number 2. Most fans were frustrated by the fact that you updated so infrequently and a bit confusingly with seemingly no rhyme or reason. Would you care to comment?
My update schedule annoyed a lot of people. It just so happened that when I decided, hey, I'm going to take this fanfiction that I wrote and record it aloud, and then I thought to myself, hey, let's go the next step and put music and some pictures over it, because that'll be even, you know, more high quality, so that people will, you know, have a reason to watch it. And then, like, I did the first 2 episodes, and then I got another job. That's what happened, and my life became a lot busier, and so I didn't want to give up on this project. I had to set aside some other projects, which was very sad, but I didn't want to give up on this one. However, as a result, I could only record when I had the time, and then editing took a long time. Like, I don't think people understand how long this editing took. I didn't just sit down and just read it flawlessly and then like put some music and pictures over it. There was a lot of editing out of my mistakes and my flubs, and like I would do several takes of a certain line to get the one that I liked. So there was a lot of editing to do with it, and that would take several hours to edit each episode, and so yeah, with all that time constraint, I could only upload when I had free time. So I apologize for the annoyingness of my updates, but I have a good reason, I think.
Ah, there you have it, folks. Your explanation. Jim Lerner on YouTube wants to know if you will write another Mass Effect fanfiction.
I actually have written several Mass Effect fanfictions. Most of them are standalone. You can find them at my fanfiction.net page, which will be linked in the doobly-doo, as well as on my DeviantArt. I don't know if I'm going to write another really epic long one like this. It'll take, you know, a strong feeling like how strongly I felt about the ending of the game to write this one. But you never know. I mean, there's going to be more Mass Effect games in the future, and who knows, something might prompt me to write another long story like this.
There you have it, Jim. Thank you for your question. Anna464, also from YouTube, would like to know if you will read any of your other fanfictions aloud for them to hear.
I would like to record more of my fics aloud. Right now I am doing a Legend of Korra fanfiction which I might read aloud, but I will probably also end up reading some more of my Mass Effect ones out loud for you, just because I really like it. I really like reading these to you, and I really like getting these stories onto YouTube with the quality that I try to have. It's just a matter of time.
And that does it for our questions about After the Fall. Is there anything else you would like to say, Julian, before we finish up?
Well, one last thing that I would like to say is a big thank you to all of my fans. I wrote this for me. I wrote an ending that I wanted to have, but little did I know that so many other people agreed that it was a good ending. So thank you to all of you who watched and read and listened and enjoyed. I've got pretty much nothing but positive comments. I thought for sure people would be jumping all over me going, how can you ruin the beautiful ending that Mass Effect 3 gave us? Although honestly I shouldn't be too surprised. But yeah, big thanks to all you guys for watching and reading and everything. It made me way more excited to update. It kept me motivated. And it'll probably keep me motivated to write more in the future.
Wonderful fans indeed. Thank you so much for watching this Q&A about After the Fall with me, Julian Greystoke, and my special guest, Julian Greystoke. We hope to see you all again in some of our other videos or in future fanfiction readings.